Good morning or good afternoon or evening, depending on what part of planet Earth you're on. And I know we have people spread across the world. We have people in North America, Europe, and Africa, and in Asia as well. And Ayana is from Greece. Awesome. This is so wonderful. I love it when a plan like this comes together, when we have people who are here to learn and share their experiences as you have. And thank you very much for doing that. So welcome, good afternoon, morning, or evening, no matter where you are. This is the next in our series of online events that are being held 7 days a week. And let me mention that there is another event coming up in about 6.5 hours at 6 o'clock U.S. Eastern Time, which for some of you, I realize will be in the middle of the night, maybe early in the morning, but replays will be available. But there's nothing like attending live. I'm doing these sessions every single day. The 30-minute sessions are happening 7 days a week. That's from now until the end of April. And my goal is to help people navigate through this difficult time. And I have an ask for you. My request is that when you get an email from me, and you will, share it with people you know. Forward it, shoot it over to people you know. Let them benefit from what you've learned during this session. And also, when you see social media posts from me, go ahead and share them as well. And like my social pages. I'll show you what they are in a few minutes. If you're not sure where the Q&A button is, or the chat box, or the raise your hand thing, move your mouse down to the bottom of the screen, and that will reveal a black bar, as you see on screen. Where the arrow is pointing, and you'll be able to ask questions, put in your comments, raise your hand if I ask you to do that. And this is live, and if you're asking questions along the way, I may wait until the end, but I will answer everybody's questions, all right? So this is what we're going to cover in the next 20 minutes. It's 6 creative ways to use automation in your small business. And if you'd like, if you can let me know what kind of business you're in, that will be helpful a lot. So go ahead and throw that in the question box or in the chat box. What kind of business do you have? Is it B2B, meaning business to business? Is it business to consumer? And that will help me target my comments to help you more. That's the goal. So I'm going to talk about 6 creative ways to use automation in your small business. It's some really powerful stuff. So let's get started, okay? And let me know the struggles that you're having with marketing. Go ahead and ask questions. So here's my question. Are you ready? Raise your hand if you're ready. The hands are going up. That's awesome. Okay, so here we go. Let me ask you this. Have you ever heard of an electric toothbrush? Of course you have. And it seems like a completely normal device, doesn't it? Well, back in the 1950s, a long time ago, such a notion was completely absurd until a guy named Philippe Vogue invented the first electric toothbrush in 1954. Up until that point, most people probably hadn't even considered an automatic toothbrush. And now it just seems so obvious, doesn't it? So that kind of, why didn't I think of that moment, is exactly what I'm hoping to achieve with this session. In the next few minutes, I hope you'll discover a new way to use automation in your business that you'd never thought of before. Hey, my name is Countess. I'm a 40-year marketing veteran in my 20th year of helping small and medium-sized and big businesses grow. And before becoming an independent consultant representing several companies, I was a senior marketing executive at 3 very large Fortune 100 companies. The Countess Group is now in its 20th year, helping businesses like yours gain an unfair advantage over your competition with targeted marketing techniques that really work. Over my 40-year career, I've been helping businesses with all aspects of strategic and tactical marketing and communications. Lead generation, helping you close business, helping you get higher awareness of your brand using marketing automation, what we're going to talk about now, helping people, businesses through crises like these. So let's start with attracting leads through automation. How you target an audience and then attract and capture their information so you can follow up with them. So number one, ask your happy customers. You're probably aware that it's cheaper to sell to an existing customer than it is to acquire a brand new customer. And you probably also know that word of mouth advertising is some of the most influential kind of marketing available. So how can you leverage these two facts to generate more leads? Ask only your happiest customers who they know that might also benefit from what you offer. Now think about it. A happy customer is clearly, well, happy with the product or service that they receive from you. So they are most likely already sharing their experience with friends. Those friends are actually warm leads. And warm leads are much easier to close. You can use automation to determine which of your customers are happy by giving them a quick survey. And then asking for a referral only from those people. Seems really simple, right? Well, it really is. So number two is validating your targeting. The first thing you have to do when strategizing how to acquire new customers is to get abundantly clear on exactly who is in your target market. And don't say everyone either. That's a lazy cop-out. Sorry. No, not sorry. It's the whole, if you're for everybody, then you're for nobody mindset. In other words, you have to have a clear target in mind in order for your marketing to be effective. Is it possible you have more than one target? Of course. McDonald's is definitely targeting children as well as adults, but both targets need to see vastly different messages before they eat a meal there. And yeah, a toy helps too. But how do you know if your targeting is correct? One method, if you already have a customer database, is to validate your current targeting hypothesis against your best customers. And this is similar to the previous way to use automation in that we are leveraging our current customers for lead generation. Weird, right? Well, you want to take your existing targeting features, build some kind of a survey that inquires about these features, and then automatically administer it to your best customers. So for example, let's pretend that you have been targeting single females with a college degree. You can build a survey that finds out your customer's gender, marital status, and level of education, and these are your targeting features. Now, let's pretend that you find your most engaged customers, the most email opens and clicks and highest dollar amount and so on, and automatically deliver that survey. If you find out that most of your best customers are married guys with a high school degree, that tells you that your targeting is actually way off. And you can adjust your marketing to cater to those types instead. Or maybe most of your customers are indeed single family females with a college degree. In either case, you've just used automation to validate or not your targeting hypothesis. So from there, you'll want to take those findings and use them to guide your messaging in future lead generation efforts. Make sense? Now let's move on to more ways automation can help you with selling. And this consists of the ways that you educate, offer, and close a lead to generate a customer. So here's number 3, simulate real email interactions to sell. Now, if you've been following the big internet marketing guys and gals for any length of time, you may have seen them use a tactic that nearly every small business can leverage. The general idea is to simulate a sales conversation when someone is toward the bottom of your sales funnel, when the lead is fully educated on the value of your product or service, what you provide. So how do a majority of sales conversations via email usually work? It's simple. A sales rep types out an email and tells the lead to reply if they want more information. And this is where we can use automation. There are systems that can automatically receive an incoming email, extract certain information, and then trigger some automation. In other words, when someone sends an email to a specific email address, it can cause something to happen automatically. So here's what you would do. First, you'd need to make sure you have a live order form or a shopping cart for a specific product. Then send an email to leads that are toward the end of the buying cycle, educating them on the offer a bit, and ask them to email a specific email address for more information. No links or anything, just a call to action saying, email this specific inbox for more information. All right, now once someone replies to that address, they get back an email automatically that attempts to close on the offering and drives the recipient to an order form or a shopping cart. This kind of invisible selling is super effective because it avoids burning out your list with a bunch of offers and allows those who are truly interested a chance to bubble up. And if you really want to get slick with it, you can change the reply to email address on the email so the call to action can literally say, just reply to this email and I'll send you more information. That's typically what I do too. So number 4 is choose your own adventure selling. Did you ever read those choose your own adventure books way back in the day? You're probably familiar with the general idea. Like this scene in one story, the Rancor is attacking you. Across the bone-filled pit, you see an electric door lock, your only escape. To pick up a bone and fight the Rancor off, turn to page 33. To throw a rock at the door's lock, turn to page 45. You wrote the story as you read it, a very immersive experience. Using the same tactic, you can create a very engaging nurture campaign. For example, imagine that you are a pest control company and you have education about scorpion and termite control. When you acquire a new lead, you can email them, assuming you have their permission, and ask which they would most like to learn about. You can track which link someone clicks on and then deliver the appropriate content. Someone wants to know about scorpion control? Send them a short nurture series of emails on how your service is the best for scorpion control. Would they prefer termite information? Send them termite stuff. Just like the books, you can also have more adventures on the back end after the initial sequence. Using the same pest control example after that initial series comes out, you could offer them another piece of content. Make sure that this content is valuable and continues to push them further down the buying cycle. After sending someone scorpion or termite control education, if they still haven't scheduled an appointment, it might be best to let them choose between an infographic about the dangers of unchecked pests or an article about why your services are better for your family's health than any other pest control companies. While you could try and drive them to your Facebook page or something else, that doesn't guide them closer to the sale, in this case, the appointment. So finally, we come down to wowing through automation. After someone becomes a customer for the first time, how do you try to sell more while also generating referrals? So number 5 is automate testimonial collection. As I shared with you earlier, word of mouth advertising is one of the most influential types of marketing because social proof is highly regarded. Sometimes you'll have a testimonial come in randomly from an exceptionally satisfied customer. What if you could automatically generate testimonials to be used in new lead generation efforts? And it turns out you can. And by the way, let me just stop here for a moment and thank Lori, who I know is on this webinar, for sending me an email testimonial on the value that she's earned and gained from attending these webinars. Lori, thank you very much. And if it's okay with you, I'll add it to my website. So similar to the first recipe, ask your happy customers. And once you've identified that someone is a happy customer, then you can then ask them for a testimonial automatically. And you can even make it a completely closed loop process by collecting the testimonial via some web form. And this way we can intelligently ask them for a testimonial until they actually do it. And then we can automatically thank them for their contribution and drive them somewhere else. Maybe offer them a coupon for another purchase as a way of saying thanks. Okay, now for number 6, automatically send cool things to a new customer. Hey, it's not that uncommon to send a new customer welcome email or even a physical letter once someone makes that first purchase. That stuff's fairly easy to automate. But did you know you can automate the fulfillment of pretty much any physical product? Or at the very least, set up a streamlined workflow if you are fulfilling in-house? Now, here's where you can have some real fun. Send people uncommon items you normally wouldn't see. A great example is a box of fresh brownies. Who doesn't have a little sweet tooth every once in a while? Brownies by themselves aren't too uncommon, but have you ever received a box of brownies for becoming a new customer? You'd be pretty impressed, right? So imagine how your customers would feel if you did that for them. It doesn't have to be a foodstuff either. Anything that's different and unexpected that genuinely thanks a new customer for making their first purchase will help with customer loyalty. So all in all, there are many different things you can automate in your business throughout the customer life cycle. The key is first understanding what your existing process is, and then automating once you get super clear on what can and cannot be automated. In most cases, with a little elbow grease and ingenuity, you can fully automate most things. So which of these were the most interesting to you? Do you have any creative ideas that you'd like to try out? But the more important question is, what will you start automating today? Now, I have a guide that will give you some ideas on what every business should automate. So to give you a head start, I've put together this guide, 25 things every business should automate. Email me and I'll send you a copy. You have an action item here. Send me an email, I'll send you a copy. Sounds like a fair trade. If you'd like to automate your business, you can get Keep Pro SE. Keep, by the way, is a company that used to be known as Infusionsoft. For just $99 a month with no contract, you can automate your process for up to 2,500 contacts. That's a savings that you can't find anywhere else on the web. $150 a month savings. So I recommend you use Keep for automating in your business. I use it too. It helps you to better organize all your client info, always follow up, close more leads, Automate your daily work. Get paid. There's an invoicing tool in there too, and impress your clients. And you can get a 14-day free trial now with no credit card needed. That's pretty simple. Costs you nothing to try it out. Go to thecountessgroup.com/offers. That's a brand new page I put up on the website just before we started this session this morning, or afternoon or evening, depending on where you are. So go to thecountessgroup.com/offers. And when you get to our website, it looks like this. Over on the extreme right-hand side, where I've got the circle and the arrow pointing, that is where you'll find the offers. And that's the page that will show up. So the big box in yellow right at the top, just click anywhere in that box and you'll be able to sign up for a free trial. Pretty awesome, huh? So my question for you is, what will your 2020 look like if you don't do anything different than you did last year? And based on what people have responded, the way people have responded in the survey, sales will be down. This is a way that you could get sales right back up where you want them to be. So take action. Do it today. We're going into Q&A now. So what I'd like you to do now is move your mouse down to the bottom of your screen if you haven't already activated your Q&A or chat, and you have some questions or comments, go ahead and throw them in there now. My name's Ken Countess. I'm Managing Director of the Countess Group. We help businesses just like yours gain an unfair advantage over your competition by teaching you how to do targeted marketing, just like this. We're a full-service marketing consultancy. We can help you with just about anything you need to help you market your business. Why would you hire us? We have over 30 people with over 40 years of experience, and as I mentioned, we're in our 20th year. So we can coach you or we can do it for you. Make sure that you absorb and practice what you've seen today. Go ahead and take advantage of that free trial of Keep or sign up. That is a limited time offer where it's just $99 a month for up to 2,500 contacts. And as far as this downturn in business, we'll all get through this by working together. All right, let's go to Q&A. And while you're throwing your questions in there, let me remind you that you'll find everything that I talked about at thecountessgroup.com. Replays, events, marketing tools, offers, it's all right there. So connect with me on social media. I mentioned that we're all over social media, Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube and Instagram and Pinterest and Twitter, whichever one you prefer, or if you prefer to use many of them. There are 6,000 people following us on Facebook, 5,000 on LinkedIn. We have 150 videos on YouTube. We've got a good following on Instagram and Twitter and Pinterest. And of course, we use email a lot. So once again, before we go to questions, my ask of you is that you share my emails and social posts and like our social pages and visit our website. Here's a short video for you. Hey, this is Ken Countess. And well, I do this every morning. We do it on Zoom and stream it also on Facebook Live. If you have something you'd like me to cover, go ahead and send it in. Let me know what you'd like me to do for you. This is all in response to the pandemic. Businesses have been hurt. I want to help. So please join me tomorrow morning. Join the rest of the crowd. We'll see you then. And as I mentioned, not only, let's wait to get into focus here. And as I mentioned, not just tomorrow morning, but this afternoon, if you're in the US, it's 6 o'clock Eastern time. And if you're in other places on the planet, it's the middle of the night, early in the morning. You'll be able to catch the replay if we're successful in recording that event. So once again, later today, 6 p.m., I'll be teaching how to write more effective emails. And then tomorrow morning at 11:30 Eastern time. So go to our website, thecountessgroup.com, and you'll be able to find the offers and the schedule of our upcoming events there. So I do hope you'll join me again. Let me go ahead and answer some of the questions. Alexis, you're very welcome. I'm glad you attended. It's great to have you here. Terrence says, sorry to be late. It's okay, you made it. Shannon says, hey, we've had a very poor response to answering a survey. Shannon, you'll find that to be the case for a couple of reasons. Number one is, what reason did you give them to participate in that survey? Was there something in it for them that would make them want to participate? Did you offer them something in exchange for their answers? Was the survey too long? Any number of things could have impacted that. But the reality is that only 5 to 8% typically respond to a survey. So if you're in that range, you're actually doing reasonably well. If it was 1 or 2%, then there's certainly room for improvement. If you're at 10% or above, that's actually pretty good. Most people don't like to take the time to fill out a survey. That's just human nature. Mark is in affiliate sales and coaching. Gina is a business to consumer business. Andrea is an equipment provider for events. Shannon is B2C. Jessica is B2B mostly. Good, thank you for that. Let me go over to the questions now. Those were in the chat box. Angelo is business to business. Molly is business to consumer. Ron says, how do I sign up for this evening's program? Ron, go on our website. It's thecountessgroup.com and go to the seminars and webinars tab. And the very first or second link will be a way to sign up for tonight's event. Andrea says, where should we email you? It's KC or Ken, use Ken, K-E-N, at thecountessgroup.com. And if you received an email from me in advance of this session, you've got my email address, just hit reply. Andrea says, can we use Constant Contact for automation? Yes, you can. Constant Contact's automation is different than it is in Keep. Keeps is more sophisticated in that there are things that you can trigger that actually work a little more effectively. Constant Contact stuff is good. I use that a lot. For those of you who are on my mailing list know that I rely on Constant Contact to send out our weekly email newsletters. I'm Constant Contact's top partner in 2018 and 19. So yeah, I use it a lot. I'm also a Keep partner. I partner with Zoho and Microsoft and vCita, with TechSmith that has video production software. So yes, you can use it for automation. It'll probably be a little less sophisticated, but depending on what your needs are, it might work well for you. If you email me, Andrea, and set up time on my calendar, we could talk a little bit more about that. So thank you all for participating. I'm glad you were all here. I don't see any other questions that have come in. So I think at this point, we'll say thanks very much for joining me during this session, and I hope to see you at the next one. Bye for now.